name is Dixie Johnson, and I'm the CEO of the Sheridan County Chamber of Commerce. And I'm excited to be able to announce that this year we're having our Ignite conference on September 22nd. That'll be on a Tuesday at the Holiday Inn. It'll take place from 8 to 5 p.m. and we're looking forward to a great turnout. Our Business Retention and Expansion Committee hosts the Ignite Conference, and this is our 6th annual event. We originally were going to have it in May, and we postponed it until September. Many protocols and social distancing measures are being put into place, so we hope that we'll have a great turnout, and there's going to be a fantastic lineup of speakers, trainers, and sessions. Today I'm joined by Don Julian. He is going to be our keynote and bonus session presenter. Don, we're really happy to have you here. Don has served as the Activities Director for Sheridan County School District number 2 and a coach for I don't know how many years. You can tell us how many years. He's positively influenced the lives of young people along the way. His effect on the record books as well as on the lives of countless students who learned and played under Don's tutelage is difficult to illustrate, as he's not only been a coach but a role model as well. Don passionately instills the values of respect, perseverance, and teamwork to everyone lucky enough to work with him. At Sheridan High School, he's worked hard to ensure the students have success not only on the field but also in the classroom. He has brought home 3 back-to-back state football championships at Sheridan High School, and he's known well for that, but he may be known best for remaining humble despite his success. So Don, if you have a few moments, would you tell us about your keynote presentation, Creating Transformational Culture?
Sure, thank you, Dixie. That was very nice. You know, Dixie, I think one of the things that great organizations, teams, businesses have in common with each other is they have a great culture. And a culture that is clearly defined, it's clarified, their employees know it, and it's shared in a great way. And I think when you have those things, not only does it help you be successful and handle tougher times and so forth, but it tends to transform everything around it, everything that it touches. And so that's kind of the title of this, is having a culture that is not only a great culture and creating that, but having a culture that transforms the entities that come into contact with it in a positive direction. So therefore, creating transformational culture.
So many of the attendees at our Ignite conference, Don, are business professionals, whether they're owners, managers, entry-level employees, first-time supervisors. So what in your presentation do you anticipate they'll be able to take away from your presentation?
Sure. Well, I've always felt like, and I've gone to many coaching clinics over the years and conferences and so forth, I always felt like if I could take one thing from each person that I listened to and take it back home with me and allow it to help us, then it was a success. So I'm always trying to get, hey, what's one thing I can share with you? But my goal here would be to get people who listen to my session to leave asking themselves some questions. What is our culture? What is my culture? Is it clearly defined? Is it communicated well with my employees? Have I shared it? If I was an outsider coming into your business, would I be able to see it and feel it and know what it looks like? Because at the end of the day, really, your culture, I think, is what sustains you through transitions, which kind of leads to the exit interview that we're going to talk about, and kind of helps you through those tough times. And so that's kind of the goal, is here's some things you need to ask yourself, and maybe I can provide some strategies for how to answer some of those questions.
Right. So I would anticipate then that as you're talking to those attendees, a lot of it's going to really hinge on them taking some personal responsibility for creating culture, even if they don't feel like they're in a position to affect an overall business culture. I would anticipate you'll talk to them a little bit about how everybody has some personal responsibility in determining what their own culture is and how they're going to act and how they're going to live.
Sure, because ultimately that's what part of your culture is your character, your what's in your heart, how you want your life, how you want to act out your life, and So whether you're a leader or not, no matter what you're involved with, you are part of that culture. And so if that culture doesn't match your character, then you probably ought to be thinking about it a little bit and seeing what you can do to maybe help that situation.
Right. And every day we see examples of businesses who have those strong cultures. The ones that are very successful, the ones that have been able to sustain through some really, tough hardships. I think a lot of times it does boil down to culture. So Don will be our keynote at our lunch presentation on September 22nd at the Ignite conference. But not only that, he's also going to be facilitating our bonus wrap-up session, which will be called Leading for Transition. So at the end of the conference, the end of the day, he'll be able to help tie everything together that the conference goers will have learned, and help them on their way to success. So during your wrap-up session, you're going to focus on getting your team on board, and that's something that you know well. Can you tell us why that's important, Don?
Well, I think it's a real fitting topic right now in our world, leading in transition, because I think a great leader really is good at handling those transitional times within their businesses, within their programs. Leading through COVID, for example, leading through growth, leading through problems that come to your business, how you handle those things, and to me, what it comes down to is what are your people, what are the people with you thinking about on 4th and 1, basically, and that real tough moment, that transitional time for my world as a coach, when it was 4th and 1 and we had to get it. If there was any fear, if there was any doubt in our culture and in that moment, then we failed at that. And so I want to try to wrap this up by tying that together, and not only talking about a little bit about our purpose and our culture, but what it looks like to lead under a situation of transition. And I've been through in my personal life, over my career, I've been through several of those moments, where I went through a pretty significant transition. Most recently, stepping away from football for family reasons, but still transitioning that program into a new head coach, and which really was the same staff, but there's a lot of transition that happens in that, and doing it in such a way that success was going to sustain and maybe even become even better. And really, as a leader, it takes a lot of courage to say, hey, we're going to go through this transition, and I want you to achieve even more than I achieved. And so it's going to be a little pep talk about that.
Good. Well, Don, we're really looking forward to having you join us on September 22nd at our Ignite conference. Included in the day's sessions, we have several sessions on marketing, human resources, customer service, business growth, strategic planning, and we even have an entrepreneurial startup track. So we have some outstanding sessions, something in it for everyone, and we hope that many of you will decide to join us on September 22nd at the Holiday Inn for our 6th annual Ignite conference. Don, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.